We're in God's country. Look around. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We just did one video, we're going to do another one. So we're going to talk about why friends and family are unsupportive of you. As a young pup, all of the books, all of the scriptures written, it was almost like you were there to seek the best that you can be. The archetypes that I grew up emulating, and so the Shaheen, were just archetypes of ultimate skill, the best of the best. So as a young pup, I believed that you're supposed to do your best. You're supposed to try. You're supposed to be that shining light in darkness, because everyone is trying to be the shining light in darkness. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. Most people are mediocre. Most people have a hatred for other people that do well. Most people have a jealous heartedness because they realize that they can't do what you can do. And instead of them to support you, they poo-poo you. And the worst offenders are your friends and family. Your friends and family are backstabbing negative ninnies that because they see you, you might have made errors in your life. Because of these errors, they hold it against you. They think you're a nincompoop. They think you're stupid. They think you are nothing. They think, I'm better than him. I can do it better. Try it then. We make it look easy. You have no idea of the thousands of hours I've spent. You have no idea of the processes, and you shouldn't have to. But what I like from you, and what we'll like from you, is for you to have an appreciation. Once you have appreciation, then I know, and we know, that it's possible that we might be on the same wavelength. But if there's no appreciation, a recognition of that appreciation, then you feel like you're alone. You might go into depression. You might go into isolation. You feel that you're not cared for. You feel that you're not loved. You feel that your opinions don't matter. Why? Because your parents, your friends, that's how they feel. I have noticed something very simple. The more people lack empathy, the more I know their childhood trauma is just through the roof and they haven't addressed it. They start doing narcissistic things. Instagram posts, WhatsApp posts, me, no value. We are walking all the way to Scotland. Some people think we're having a laugh. Oh, you're going to take a cab halfway? No, we're not. You're taking a bike? No, we're not. We're not jumping on an aeroplane, and we're not sitting on some donkey that's going to take us half the way. We believe in doing things properly. Now, what happens is, because your friends and family have seen you over the years and they cannot do what you've done because they feel that they're better than you, because they are traumatized. A lot of them have unresolved childhood trauma. And because of this, they're not going to believe you. Because of this, when you show up with a spring in your steps, they'll put a downer on you. Misery loves company. For most of your families and friends, they wallow, they bathe in misery. They bathe in negativity. I mean, what I've personally been through, but walking from Brighton to Scotland with my handsome companion here, the look in some people's eyes, 3 people stuck out to me on this trip. First guy was Tony. His energy, unbelievable. He was a runner. These are individuals that know what it takes on his own, running, doing things on his own. The second person was Mark. Mark was Lord. Mark, what a guy. He gave us water. He crossed the road. We were parched. He took the bottles from us. He came back again. And then he left loving words like, I saw these guys. The third person was Paula. Her energy, Lord, it's that energy that it's there. That's why I said in one of the last videos, you've got to find good people. I'm not saying that you should find good people and worship them and start, making them, your Lord and Savior. I'm just saying that connection, that happiness in London. London's full of miserable gits, unhappy, miserable people. That when you decide not to be unhappy and miserable, even though it's going to be a long road for you, these other people don't want you to succeed. They're the sort of people that when you make it, they said, do you remember that time I gave you £1? Do you remember that time I told you, don't change the color of that font from green to red. Because of that, you owe me money. The utter selfishness of these individuals. They stand on the sidelines, looking on, making comments. When I started my first business, I learned very quickly, everyone's going to have an opinion. I remember doing 6, 7, 8 hour work on my business. And when I showed it to friends, when I showed it to family, they'll come up with criticism. Until I realized a lot of them are absolute nincompoops. And all they are doing is showing their ineptitude. And it's painful. So when an individual like me becomes brash, when an individual like me is not able to listen to individuals, especially when I've heard it a million times, especially when people bring problems and no solution, what do you expect me as an individual to do? I feel hurt. I have feelings. Just because I might not express them like you, you want to tell me that what I'm doing is this, or you're an oligarch, you're this and that. But what about the fact that I'm actually trying with a team to bring about positive resolutions? What about that? What about me cutting my leg? I mean, the boy kid is walking in stinging nettles. He had a gash on his leg. I'm like, huh? He had a bruise on his arm. I thought he was going through domestic violence. That was just us practicing our hike, and he just doesn't say anything. What about that? What about the fact that younger boys and girls, the increase of autism is going through the roof? How are you going to help them? I can express myself. Shaheen can express himself. Other people can't express themselves. What are you going to do? What are you going to do for legacy? What are you going to do? What are you going to put in place to help other people that can't help themselves?